My mother is a soldier.
Hey, you. We are back at it. We are going to be talking about physical and psychological. Okay, physical. Physical is your body, your environment, anything that you can actually touch. Physical are typically the main things that you can control, if not like the only thing you can control. Even though you can physically move other things and other people occasionally, to some extent, there are laws regarding that, whether they be physical laws or like human laws, like the legal system. You cannot kidnap people and you cannot steal. So those are some limitations, and you cannot pick up a bank. You can't carry a safe, those type of things. So physical are the things that you can control in your life. How you eat, how your body looks, how your environment looks. Those are the only things that you need to be focusing on in your physical environment. It's actually very simple, but all of the things are equally important. And if I had to put them in order, typically the order really does start with physical, psychological, and then it goes on to physical, psychological, profit, purpose, the other ones. We'll get there, but I am doing my best to keep these like 10 minutes in the 10-minute zone. So we've talked about what physical is. Continuing education is the number one way to do everything. So if I do my videos, I think I'm gonna have like continuing education as a bar that just like goes through the bottom all throughout, because in order for you to grow and level up, if you know, then you will need to educate yourself. And you don't want to continue to be educated, because then you're only knowing what people are allowing you to know. It's important for you to learn how to educate yourself. So, beautiful segue, that goes right into psychological. A lot of young students, especially in like elementary all through high school, are like, why do I have to learn this? Even me. Why do I have to learn this? Why do I have to learn this? Why do I have to learn this? Whatever this is, reading, gym, whatever. Somebody always don't like something in school. However, I tell my children that it's not about what you're learning so much in school. It's about you learning how to educate yourself, how education works. When you're taking notes and writing papers, it's giving you the practice and the skill to be able to go out, look for information that supports your claim and that may not support your claim, so that you can get the whole side of the picture. And it gives you the ability to put that information together and then explain it to someone else to relay your idea, is what I feel like saying. However, that is what school is about. It's at least in my opinion. I know that the American school system was set up to create employees. I know this. However, you can choose to go along with this system, or you can choose to get your best out of everything. I did a series last year and then I lost it all doing just being ridiculous. And I believe I still have the titles to all the content that I made. So I might sit down and do that again. I might just make YouTube shorts out of it. But the idea is basically how to make the best out of your job, and the reason why you would obviously want to do that. Um, and the same goes for education. So psychological, we've talked about the educational part of it. However, another part of the psychological is your mental health and the things that, so like how your brain is wired, so to speak. All right, so let me get into it. Your mental health, obviously depression, happiness, making poor decisions, being erratic, just anxiety, fear, just all of the things that go along with mental health. Peace, contentment, clarity, all of that. So that is also part of psychological. That those are also skills. Now, skills are things that you, one second, according to Google, Oxford Languages, the noun, skill, the ability to do something well, the verb, train, in parentheses, a worker, to do a particular task. So, pretty much everything in life that can be done is a skill. Some things come easier to others. We talked about that yesterday when we were talking about purpose. However, depending on your circumstance, it doesn't matter if what comes easier to you comes easier. You might have to do what comes hard to you in order to get to the point where you can do what comes easier to you. So that's when getting the skills of having good mental health comes into play. It's something that you have to train yourself to do. You have to train yourself to think positively. You have to train yourself to look for the silver lining, look for the good in all of the bad. You need to make that your way of thinking. It's not something that is going to happen overnight, especially if everybody in your previous generations have been trying to tell you how bad life is, how bad life is, how bad life is, and they're living it. So it's not only are they telling you, but you have like visual examples of it. So all of that type of stuff affects you mentally. Now, hear me go with my documentaries. I watched this documentary about the brain, and it had this guy in there who had dementia, Alzheimer's, one of them, and he was on the decline. His wife took him for a walk every day, same path. Um, and if you know anything about dementia or anything like that, basically what it means is you can't remember who you are, let alone where you're going. So one day, at its worst. So the wife and the husband were going to go out for the walk. The wife was like, "Oh, let me go grab my keys, my phone, the umbrella, whatever it was." She left him, came back, that man was gone. So she called the police, obviously, because her husband with dementia is outside running around in the streets. Turns out the man went on the walk. But in, like, prior to that, it had been understood that if you have dementia, you won't be able to go for a walk and bring yourself back to your house. However, because this gentleman and his partner, his wife, had gone over this multiple times, it became a skill. This would be the same thing for you. Um, you learning how to make your mind be the place that you really want it to be. So create the environment physically and mentally. That is, or psychologically. Also, take into consideration the things that you are bringing into your mind. So, that part. Um, Things like, what are you reading? What are you listening to? What type of entertainment? Is there a lot of vulgarity? Is there a lot of low vibrational information, or are you listening to high vibrational information? One thing that I'm doing right now is I'm redoing the algorithm for my business and my personal YouTube. So I'm unfollowing channels that are low vibrational. I'm following channels that are more high vibrational, and I'm asking them to stop sending me content that doesn't match the frequency that I'm trying to be on. So those are, now that's like a combination thing because your phone is something physical and I'm doing it for my mind. So we are on this journey together. If you want some more information about this, you know what to do. Drop it in a comment. Find me somehow. Email, boat, plane, bird. We got this.